So, hey everybody, we're going to be today showing you a guide on a puzzle that will give you 10 of these Enigma Gyrum tokens that you can use to buy special Duviri furniture from Acrithis.
I said, you can't just ask someone what it's like to be executed every day of their life. They'll talk about it when they're ready.
So, said puzzle is available in 3 different Duviri spirals. Joy, Sorrow, and Envy. We happen to hit Envy right now, so we'll be doing this one in Envy. And this is 100% soloable, by the way. So, the reason why it's only available during these spirals is this because it's on something called the Archarbor Island, which is in the northeast area of the map, which is only available during said spirals. So let's get all of our stuff chosen. What we choose here really isn't going to matter any. So I'm just going to grab whatever. Ooh! I've got a Stalker. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Stalker is a possible available option if you have the right decrees turned in. Nadaruk, Guns and Prime, yeah, it really doesn't matter what I grab here. We're not going to be using any of it. And Chulto, sure.
The covetous courtier. Bombastine was envious. Of what? Anything. Wherever his gaze fell, it seemed other people had it better.
I am better than any of them. Fate and
wait for these guys to stop
jealous
talking.
others have conspired to inflict this upon me. You. Will you defy their cruelty and aid me?
Okay, so northeast area of the map, the Archarbor Island, this is where we're going. One quick thing I want to point out that I'll be, so these little 3 offcuts of the middle of the island, of this middle of this area, I'm going to call these islands, although they're not technically islands, but that's just what I'm going to call them. There's a bridge that goes to each one, so they're kind of islands. But, yeah, if you have teleport, just teleport there, otherwise you're going to have to hop on your horsey and fly over there. It could be potentially a bit of a long flight, but we're going to teleport over there. And by the way, if Archarbor is available, Acrithis the vendor is always going to be on Archarbor, if you're ever looking for her. So these 3 islands, they're all at different elevations. This is the lowest elevation, low, medium, high. So I'll be called like the low island, mid island, high island. Let's go kill these guys real quick. These guys sometimes will get in the way of you doing the puzzle. And let's take care of the other ones real quick too, since we're here. You'll encounter these guys sometimes on the island. If you kill a group of 5 of them, you get a decree. So it might actually be of use. There's a group of 5 of them here, so it's going to give me a decree. There. Doesn't really matter too much what I grab here. So, before we get started, one thing you're going to keep an eye out for is one of the little side quests, quick little side quest things. It can be a chest, it can be a puzzle, it can be kill 5 guys like I did right there. It can be a windmill, something else. Keep an eye out for some. One of them often pops up right here, right next to Acrithis, which is why I'm staying out here. You are going to need one of those for later. I'll explain. I'll explain. Yeah. Thank you for interrupting me. I'll explain once we get to that part why you want to keep an eye out for one of those. Ideally, something that can be done quickly. So we're going to start on one of these islands. I happen to teleport to the low one, so I'm going to start on the low one. You're going to see Acrithis has a little quote-unquote hollow projector thing here with a security puzzle. Do the puzzle. Then look for a Thrax bust on top of this right here. You're going to have a little thing sticking out from the bust. Click push on it until that thing sticking out is pointing towards the center of the island. So that's all we do here. We're going to be doing the exact same thing on the mid island and the high island as well. Let me just fly over there real quick. So here's the mid one. So again, security puzzle. There's the bust statue. Here's the little thingy pointing out. There's a kitty we can pet if we want. I'll skip that for now. But yeah, you want to keep rotating this until it's pointing to the middle of the island. And if we want to do it later, these little things hanging up in the air means that there's a power windmill puzzle nearby, so not super quick, but it's an option. We're going to want one of those for later. Like, there's the windmill right over there. But yeah, let's go up to the high island. So that's that last security puzzle, last rotate thingy. And right here, this one is a activate shrine thing, which usually just involves killing some enemies. So we might do that one instead of the windmill. I think that one's going to be a little quicker than the windmill. And on the high island, the little Thrax bust is in the very back.
Work like life, it never ends. It's merely endured.
Okay, so I should have all 3 security puzzles done, all 3 of these pointy thingies pointing to the middle of the island. Now, for the security puzzles, each time you completed one, it opens up these, I'll call them doors, opens up the floor to go down to a cave down below. You might find mats down in these, maybe not. You can check them all out if you want. But the one that we need to go to for the puzzle is actually on the low island, so we're going to fly back down there. And if you want to, like, I did the puzzles in the order of low, medium, high. You can do them in an order so that you finish on the low island if you want. Totally your choice. I just did the low island because that's where I teleported. Oh, some people found me. Well, we'll ignore them. But yeah, we want to go into the lower island cave. Again, sometimes there's mats down here. And you'll know you did the first part of this correctly if you see this like cloudy-like formation around this well right here. If that that white cloudy-like formation, void-like formation is not around there, that means one of those things that are supposed to be pointing to the middle of the island, it's probably not pointed to the middle of the island. Or maybe you forgot to do a security puzzle or something like that. Pretty much, there's something you missed. Go back up, check all the islands, fix that, then come back down here. But what we'll want to do here, activate this, and we'll walk back to this window over here. And it's kind of hard to see through the vines, but there's a gate right there. You want to look for that gate to slide down and open. Typically, I wait till it's most of the way down. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be, although not through this window, we're going to be flying down there. That's the heart of the puzzle. So let's just head back up. Hop the horsey again. Now, sometimes it gets a little buggy. And if you go down there too quickly, the puzzle will not have loaded. Let's see if we're looking good now. And you'll know it very quickly if the puzzle hasn't loaded, because this little column right here will be blank. You'll not see these little snowflakes here either, but it looks good now. Maybe it was a bug they fixed. I haven't seen it in a while, actually, so maybe it is a bug they fixed. But yeah, here's the puzzle area down here. But yeah, if you happen to hit it so that the puzzle hasn't loaded when you get down here, fly back out. You might have to go a little bit further away than Archarbor, like maybe go to like Lunara Court, maybe go to Thrax Gardens. Either teleport there or fly back. And hopefully when you come back down here, the puzzle will have loaded. Worst case, absolute worst case, you'll have to totally reload into Duviri. But hopefully that's no longer an issue. So what we have right here, I'm going to call these, okay, there's 8 symbols. There's 4 in the middle that are partially covered, so that only the middle part of the symbol shows. So like this one I'm pointing at right now, it looks like it's one thing on the left, one thing on the right. That is the middle I'll call it line of the symbol, the middle horizontal line of the symbol. So you have to guess the symbol based on that alone. So, like, for example, let's use the ones we already have here. So this I call arc. All you'll be seeing if this was, like, covered by this little placard here is just square on the left, square on the right. You can see the same thing for this U up here, square on the left, square on the right. For this thing, you can call this maybe X, maybe chromosome. You'd see just a little something in the middle. For the one at the top, I call that E. You would see a little something on the left and a little space, little something in the middle, nothing on the right. But you do this often enough, you can pretty much start looking at this and just know immediately what they are. But yeah, we'll get more into that in a second. So I number all these starting from the top, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these little things over here, these 4 on the left of the column and these 4 on the right of the column, that's actually where you're entering the symbols. These 4 things in the back are going to give you, let me see the proper name for these. Is there a proper name for these? There's not a proper name for things. I will just call them glowy balls. I'm sure there's a proper term for them, but I'm calling them glowy balls. Now, some of these areas where you're entering in the symbols, such as this one right here, there is actually nothing, no place you can enter the symbol. So you need to grab a glowy ball, like we have here, and just toss it in. So that now gives us a symbol that we can shoot at. Some of these, like this one over here, already has the symbols we can shoot at. Now, the symbols we can shoot at here, these are not in a, like, most, what's the term I'm looking for? Apparent order. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Instead, it is in an order of, I'll show you how I remember these. So we have what I'll call even number, odd number, odd number. And the other side, starting at the back, odd number, even number, even number. Now for what the numbers actually are. The first two, the ones that are closest to the back, are these symbols that are not covered by a placard. So you can see the full symbol. So the even numbers, in that case, are number 2 and number 8. So these are 2 and 8. So even. Over on this side, again, symbols that are not covered by placard. They're odd numbers. So in this case, it would make it 1 and 3. So 1, 3. So let's see over here. So the rest of the explanations, so these are 1 and 3, so odd. But then we have even, which means these ones in the front are the ones covered by the placards. So even numbers that are covered by the placards are number 4 and number 6. Going back over here, even, the 2 and 8. Then we have odd, covered by placards. It gives us 5 and 7. So we'll be starting left and just get all of them on this side. Then we'll head over here, start with the back again, get them all on this side. So I'll keep reiterating which one is which. So the first one we have 2, and it looks like a U. So we just keep shooting here until we get a U. If you see a rainbow effect on the symbol, that means when you shoot at the symbol will shoot back. If you notice your health getting a little bit low, your third ability does heal you. So keep an eye out on your health. You can also sometimes like hide behind a furnishing object and it will shoot the furnishing object instead. So that's a bucket. It's not... Yep. We got you. Okay, so we got number 2. You'll know that if you're good, you get that little cloudy white circle around the symbol. Now number 8, you'd ordinarily shoot this green circle to open it up, but you notice nothing in there, so we got to throw the glowy ball in it. Grab a glowy ball. He has glowy ball. And just as long as you're pointing at it, it doesn't really matter which direction you're facing when you throw. It's pretty good about being like, hey, general direction, you want the symbol to go there. So 8, we have what I call arc. You give it whatever name you want that helps you remember it. Okay, so we got arc. There's our circle. So this next one, so 2, 8. The next ones are odd numbers that are covered by placards. So this next one's number 5. Now this one we're looking for the middle of the symbol is just a square. And the left and the right, you can just see just a smidgen of it. So we're going to keep shooting at it until we see something that looks kind of like that. I already know what this symbol is. I'll tell you what I call it once we find it. Let's go a little bit closer here. And actually, here it is now. It's what I call shovel. So the middle of the symbol is roughly here. So you can see the middle of the top of the handle of the shovel. And just kind of the tippy top of the actual shovel part. So yeah, call that one shovel. Again, call it whatever name helps you remember it the most. Next one, 7. We have that looks like, that's a good term for it. Not really square, but it kind of looks like 2 semicircles on top of each other. There was kind of one on the left side, one on the right side. So we're going to keep shooting until we see something that resembles that in the middle. And it's actually right here. This particular one I call burger. Kind of like the bun, the burger sticking out, the top part, the bottom part are like the bun. If you have a name you prefer for it, again, give whatever name helps you remember it. Just for shits and giggles, because this one's just not going to shoot at me, I'm just going to show you other names I have for some of the other stuff in here. So burger, this one I call Y, because it, well, kind of looks like a Y. This one, a friend of mine actually named this one Rainbow, and it just stuck. I'm like, yeah, it works close enough. It's not really resembling a rainbow, but, you know, whatever helps you remember it. Maybe it's more of a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow type thing. Okay. This one I call O, even though it doesn't really look too much like an O with these little things sticking in, but it is the symbol that looks most like an O out of all of them. And here we are back to burger. So we got our first 4 symbols, 2, 8, 5, 7. They're inputted. Now we're going to go back over on this side. We're going to start with the symbols that we can actually fully see first. So here, if you look closely behind all these vines and whatnot, you can't really see a symbol that you can shoot at. So we're going to need another glowy ball. Let's get the glowy ball first. Actually, let me show you why real quick. We're going to need the glowy ball first. If I were to take away all this, you have your space where you can shoot you can throw your glowy ball in. So let's go get that. See if we get it quick enough. Now, ordinarily, and it's not happening here, maybe I was just too fast, those vines and everything we had will grow back. They aren't doing it in this case. Maybe I was fast enough. Maybe they took that out. Maybe they slowed it down. But yeah, we got our symbol in there for number 1, which is the one I call E. Let's see if hiding behind this chair works. And yeah, we lucked out. It's the first one. Now the second one, I'm actually going to do this slightly out of order. This is 3. The one next to it, which is the first hidden symbol, the first hidden by placard symbol, is 4. We're actually going to do number 4 first, and I'll explain why as soon as I get the glowy ball. So we have 2 symbols that need a glowy ball in it. However, we only have 1 glowy ball left. So the number 4 one, this is what I call a memory, which means when you throw the glowy ball in, and you set it to whatever symbol you want, if you shoot this thing, right here, the circle at the bottom, the glowy ball pops back out, but it keeps the symbol. So then you can throw the glowy ball into here. So we're going to do number 4 first so we can take care of that. This one, number 4, we're gonna want to look for something that has kind of square left, middle, right, but the left and right ones aren't quite like perfect squares. They're kind of indented in some areas if you look really close. So I happen to know off the top of my head what that one is, but I will show you guys. And again, since we don't have that rainbow thing, so this will not shoot back at us, I'll go through all the symbols in this one as well. So this one I call M. This is not it. It has a little empty part in the middle, so that one's not the one we're looking for. This one, name came from a friend again. She called it Twinkie, where it's like you have the round cylinder-shaped thing with the middle filling. This is actually the one that fits that symbol, so that's the one we'd want right here. So if you look at it, it's a little hard to see, but there is a slight indent on the left side and the right side. That's what we saw with the slight indents over here. Number 4. So this one right here. You can't see it too well, I'm pointing at it, so I mean, just the camera. It's the one at the top right now. That's what we're looking for. So this one symbol would be Twinkie, but I'm going to go through the rest of the symbols with you guys so you can see what they look like. This one I just call D, because it kind of looks like a D. This one, I have 2 names for it. I sometimes call it book. I sometimes call it blanket, because it looks kind of like a folded blanket. Pick whatever works for you. This one, we got our M again, and there's Twinkie, which is the symbol we want. So shoot the thing, we get our glowy ball back, and the Twinkie symbol stays in place. So let's go to number 3, which is X. I call it X or chromosome. I think it looks a bit more like a chromosome than an X, but yeah, call it whatever you want. And actually, yeah, if you look back over here, the vines grew back, but our symbol's good, so we don't have to worry about that. So number 3, so this one's also not gonna shoot back, so I'll go through the symbols again. So this one is, we had this earlier, O. This one, we had this again earlier, D. This is chromosome, it's the one we're looking for, but I'm gonna go through the rest of the symbols. Here's the rainbow one we had earlier. You think of it as like pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. There's O again. There's D again. There's X. So we got 1, we got 3, we got 4. The last one, 6. This one will shoot back at us because it's rainbow effect, so we are not going to go through all the symbols there. But what we're going to look for at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we got something on the left side. And if you look closely, it's got kind of a curve on it. So it's like concave, convex on each side. So it could be something that looks like perhaps like a letter C or something like that. Or if like this arc symbol was like rotated to the left 90 degrees, it would look something like that. So I want to keep shooting this symbol here until we get that something. Now, quick thing right here. We have good furniture to hide behind with this pot. So just hide behind this and you hopefully won't get shot by the lasers coming from it. But also, since this is the last symbol, once you get it in the right position, it'll automatically have your little puzzle finish notification. And you can grab your rewards from the owl in the middle here. So, okay, so this symbol I call bucket. It's not the right one. This symbol I call DC because it looks kind of like a D next to a C. Again, not the right one. And here we go. Here's our C-looking thing. We have finished it. Go to the middle here, collect your rewards, and you'll have 10 Enigma Gyrum, along with some various Duviri mats. You might also get a part for the Cinta bow, like a blueprint for one of the pieces, or the blueprint for the actual weapon itself. So yeah, go spend your decree. Now, earlier when I mentioned you want to keep an eye out for something, a little puzzle, interaction, whatever, that's really, really quick to finish, that's what we're going to do now. Now, I've had in the past a few times, ordinarily, after we finish the puzzle, after we grab our decree, you can just go to your pause menu, leave Duviri, you have everything. But I have had a couple times after doing that, I didn't actually get my 10 Enigma Gyrum. So all the last things, all the stuff I grabbed right before the last decree, it didn't save. So I do what I call a safety. Which I do one last interaction. And there's a bug right now where the horsey take a little bit of time to spawn. So we saw the shrine earlier. Let's do that one because it's relatively quick. I think that one was on the middle island. Is it the middle one or the high one? I can't remember which. Is it here? Okay, it must have been on the high one. And if you happen to find like a group of 5 enemies somewhere on our Archarbor area, you can just kill those guys instead. So yeah, there it is. Now, if you happen to not find something that's really, really quick to finish, another option I'd recommend, and I'll show it to you guys real quick, head it down to Lunaro Court. There's something you can do very quick down here. It's always down there. But let's actually finish the shrine first, then I'll show you that other puzzle you can have as an alternative option. It's actually what I prefer doing, and I'll show you why once we do it. No, this one actually might not be as quick as I remember. Is this a 3-round thing, or... this one's not as quick as I remember. We'll finish it anyway. This is a 3-rounder. I was thinking it was a 1-rounder with 5 people for some reason, but I was thinking of something else. Okay. Yeah, the windmill might have been faster. Let's get this last one. Cool. So there's our safety completed. And double drops, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Now let me show you the thing on Lunaro Court and why this is actually my preferred safety if I don't need to finish something really quick. So go to this court area where you see this little, well, Archarbor court thingy. If you see this building right here, you know you're in the right area. Head over to these ponds, and you're going to want to look for one of these things. Feed the Ravenous Maw. So if you haven't done this before, it's an encounter where you're jumping into the lake, transferring into the maw, and you have to eat fish. If you eat 10 of them in the time limit, you finish the encounter, you pass the encounter. If you eat 15 of them in the time limit, you get a little bit bonus. So you get like a better decree, you get more mats out of this, and you will also get a special Duviri fish that you can put in your Orbiter's aquarium if you choose to. So let me go through this real quick. Now, the one reason why I like doing this one is my safety, besides having that fish, is the mats that you get from this is unique to this encounter. So it is the only way you get these particular mats. Like Maw Fang's one of them. I forget the other names off the top of my head. But we need to eat at least 10. Now on controller, it's just right trigger by default to eat the fish. On PC mouse keyboard, I don't know what it will be. You want to stick probably to the outer edges of this little pond we're in. Moving across the top, it's a little problematic. Not really enough room. So we got 15 there. takes a little practice. You might not hit the 15 or even the 10 initially, but just keep practicing it. You'll eventually get there. But yeah, we have another decree. There we're getting our exclusive mats that are only from this. There's 3 of them. You might not get all 3. And there's our fish, the Ziran one. Or however that's pronounced, Shiran. And yeah, I could put that fish into my aquarium if I wanted. So yeah, spin our decree. And we are good to leave Duviri. And yeah, there's our 10 Enigma Gyrum there.
Curious. What does that portend?
You can talk to Griffiths here, and...
Hello, Drifter.
I could spend this on something here. So, the Archarbor puzzle, I've personally got it down so that I can finish it solo in roughly 6.5 minutes time. If you're not quite as experienced with it, it could take you a little longer, but the more you do it, the more you get used to it, like, oh, those are the symbols of me, those are the symbols that I'm looking for, stuff like that. You get better at the security puzzle, stuff like that, so you can start to get through it pretty quickly. So I will guess maybe about 10 to 12 minutes doing it solo on your own initially, but you can start knocking that time down. But yeah, each run through, 10 Enigma Gyrums, so you can start getting some of these.
Did you ever notice how that thing hangs in the sky overhead, and yet nobody ever wants to talk about it? Like, it's not really there.
So you can start getting more of this Duviri furniture.
Nothing
so
tickled your curiosity, hmm?
So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Next video will be out, I don't know, it will either be a build video or another guide video coming out next. I might hold off on the build video until Tekra Encore is out next Wednesday. But yeah, thank you for watching, everybody.